I understand why a lot of rumors get started in the National Football League. They make some sense, right? A team needs a certain position. Hey, this player plays this position. They can trade for him or they can sign them in free agency. But aside from that, the rumors that we're going to talk about at the beginning of the show, they don't make any sense. This rumor that we're going to talk about at the end of the show, that one, though, does make a lot of sense. Chargers Now is presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Will Ortner. And I got two stories, don't make any sense. Why would the Chargers make these moves? You're going to have to tell me. Then we have another rumor that I actually would love for the Chargers. I think you would too. If you're fired up that football is back, that's right. Training camp, it is around the corner, but the rookies are already in the facility. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button. I'm fired up for the 2026 NFL season to get underway. I certainly know that you are too. So, the rumors that are floating around right now for the Los Angeles Chargers, in a shocking development, revolve around the wide receiver room. And there are certainly some people, whether it's on the national media side or as beat reporters for the Chargers, that are starting to float a couple of different names that to me make absolutely no sense for this team in Los Angeles. Now, when you look at the wide receiver room, I think that you're going to see a big explosive year for guys like Quentin Johnston, and I think you're going to see Lad McConkey get back to where he was. I think Brendan Thompson is the biggest wild card of all of these guys, especially if he's able to stay healthy. But there are a lot of people in the national media that think that there needs to be another move that is made, that another player needs to get picked up, and two names continue to be floated out by different people. Tyreek Hill. Now, some of this has to do with things that were happening before this week, and I'll kind of explain what that was. But it seems like there's a lot of people that are trying to draw a comparison and draw Tyreek Hill to the Los Angeles Chargers. And there are a couple of reasons why it makes sense, right? According to some, the Chargers need wide receivers. I don't know that I necessarily feel that way. Another reason is because Mike McDaniel is the offensive coordinator there in Los Angeles. He was the head coach with Hill when Hill was in Miami playing for the Dolphins. And it would make a lot of sense if Tyreek Hill had been playing like he had been 2 to 3 years ago. If Tyreek Hill was still someone that was getting 1,700 yards every single season, well then, yeah, I would buy into the Los Angeles Chargers making a move to go and get him. Yeah, I would understand why the Chargers would kick the bucket on him or kick the tires on him. Not the bucket, that would be bad. When you look at the 24 season, Tyreek Hill had a lot of success. That's still a pretty good wide receiver in the NFL. But the 25 season wasn't good. And despite this, there were a lot of people that wanted Hill to come to Los Angeles to play for this Chargers team. But I think that you're going to see this rumor really start to die down after this latest article that was put out by Adam Schefter of ESPN, where he's talking about Tyreek Hill and the position that Hill is in right now. Because we all know Tyreek Hill had a significant injury to his leg. And at this point, he's still not in a position where he feels like he's able to push off that leg and really drive with any power. What made Tyreek Hill so good was his speed. And not just age now is taking that away from him, but a significant injury is. The Chargers cannot sign Tyreek Hill. There's no good reason why he should have a jersey that has a Chargers symbol on it, unless he went to the store and bought one. Because when I look at Tyreek Hill, I think that we are long past due him being good at this sport. The time has passed. Due to injuries, due to age, I think Tyreek Hill's time in the National Football League as a serious player is gone. Is there a free agent you want the Chargers to go in and sign? Let us know down below in our comment section. I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say. Training camp is right around the corner, and I certainly want to know what you think. Now, people are going to say, Will, what player do you want the Chargers to sign? Well, this is where I do the best thing in the business, and that is tease you. Because later on in the show, I'm going to tell you exactly what player I want to sign in Los Angeles. Before we do any of that, though, I need to let you know that today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. With the football season right around the corner, there's no better time to cash in with our friends at Prize Picks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. For player picks, just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. That's it. Prize Picks is available in most states, including California, Texas, and Florida. One thing I love is the new social feeds feature where you can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. You can actually follow me on the app at BigWill7774 to see all of my lineups. Just like this one that I have for the football action going on later on this year. Justin Herbert, more on his pass yards. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Rashid Shaheed, more on his receiving yards. New user offer. Best of all, play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right. Prize Picks just switched up their offer, so there's no better time to join. Lock in and win that first lineup. That's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 plus lineup. The next rumor that you're starting to see float around is Deebo Samuel coming to the Los Angeles Chargers. And again, I think on the surface level, this makes some sense. Deebo Samuel is a wide receiver. If you think the Chargers need a wide receiver, he certainly fits that mold. He's someone who's had a lot of success in the system that Mike McDaniel is going to run. Deebo Samuel is someone who can do a multitude of different things. He's a good receiver at that wide receiver position, specifically in the slot. He's also someone that can add in as a runner. He's a matchup nightmare for a lot of different teams because he's able to do a lot of different things. And this makes sense if you're just looking at it from a bird's eye view and you think, hey, the Los Angeles Chargers need to find a guy that's going to really help bolster this roster, bolster what this team is and what they can be. And I think that Deebo Samuel is someone that can really help push this team to the next level. Here's the thing, though. If you're thinking that way, you're thinking about Deebo Samuel in 2019. That's not that guy anymore. He hasn't had a 1,000-yard year in the last 4 years. Deebo Samuel is not what he once was. And too often, we look back in the day at what a player used to be, and we say, hey, that guy's going to clearly be an elite, and he's going to be a talent. He's going to pick right back up where he used to be. Here's the thing. Father Time comes for us all, and he's come for Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is someone who has a lot of injury history. He's now over 30 years old, and in my opinion, I just don't think it makes sense to sign him for the dollar amount that he wants, and I don't think that he does things that you don't already have on this roster. Now, there is a rumor that I do want to have happen for the Los Angeles Chargers, and you might be asking yourself, Will, what is this rumor that you want to have happen in LA? And I think it's pretty easy, and I think it's pretty clear, because we've already talked about him here a couple times on the channel. I want Keenan Allen back in Los Angeles, and I want him playing for the Chargers. Now, he's not limiting himself to just LA, but I certainly think that Keenan Allen would add into this roster, and there's still plenty of opportunities for him to play and play at a high level in the National Football League. When you look at the last 4 years for Allen, it's clear that he's still got some tread left on the tire. Now, there is a fear at times, I think, for some, that he may take away from a guy like Ladd McConkey. I don't necessarily think that that is something that we would have to worry with in Mike McDaniel's type of offense. I think that Mike McDaniel could bring Keenan Allen in, and he could still use him in a way that doesn't take away from Brandon Thompson, doesn't take away from Ladd McConkey. Get him the football in space and make him make guys miss. Is he still the player he was 5 years ago, 6 years ago? No. Is he a good player? Yeah. So I would love to have Keenan Allen return to the Los Angeles Chargers, and it certainly feels like that's the way his career is supposed to end. Do you want Keenan Allen back in Los Angeles? Do you want him signing with the Chargers? Let me know down below in our comment section. Is that a yes or is that a no answer from you? Because I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say. Hit the thumbs up button on today's video because you love the coverage that you get on your favorite team in the National Football League. And if you haven't subscribed, do so now. We have a ton of content coming out for you during training camp, during the regular season. You don't want to miss out on any of this. Thank you guys so much for viewing the video. Can't wait to see you next time. And as always, bolt up.